Well, I'm here to tell you, she's back outside, dog. Caitlin pops up at the Nike headquarters, and people that worked at Nike is leaking information all over social media, pretty much saying that Caitlin Clark pulled up at the...
Did you catch what just went down? Caitlin Clark was seen at Nike's headquarters, and it's causing a major stir. They gave her the VIP treatment, rolling out the red carpet and plastering her face on posters all over the place. But here's the catch, Nike completely dropped the ball with Clark's merchandise. No shoes, no shirts, absolutely nothing after signing her. They've done nothing with the deal.
Was spotted somewhere, kind of important. Like, we've all talked about how, Nike have done a horrible job marketing her. And
Caitlin Clark's visit to Nike could signal a major shift. Nike might finally start releasing merchandise featuring her, taking advantage of her rising popularity. This could also open the door to more endorsement opportunities for Clark, marking the start of a significant partnership.
The only thing that I can think about entirely is they're about to get in.
Caitlin Clark's visit to Nike headquarters is massive. Nike, the leading sports brand, has just signed her to a whopping $28 million deal. This is a game changer because Clark is quickly emerging as one of basketball's brightest stars, and Nike's investment speaks volumes about their faith in her ability to boost sales and bring more attention to the sport.
A lot of us were so excited about this. Nike is obviously the biggest brand in athletic apparel, and Caitlin seemed to be a perfect fit for the brand. $28 million at the time, while some people, including myself, were saying that this might be a little bit too low because of the superstar that she is. It seemed to be like...
Despite signing Caitlin Clark to a $28 million contract, Nike has failed to release any merchandise featuring her. No shoes, no shirts, not even a simple poster. It's like they have a winning ticket but refuse to cash it in, missing out on a huge opportunity to capitalize on her rapidly growing popularity.
Not seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark.
Exactly. Caitlin Clark is supposed to be the next big thing in basketball, yet Nike is treating her like just another player. With her massive potential and the buzz surrounding her, they're missing a golden opportunity. It's even more baffling when you consider the impact she could have on their sales and brand.
there is absolutely no reason why Nike have not released like Caitlin Clark type t-shirts. They don't have a logo like they have with A'ja Wilson.
It's a tough situation for Caitlin Clark, especially when players like A.A. Wilson are getting their own signature lines. It feels like Clark is being left out despite her incredible popularity. The reasons behind this, whether it's race or concerns about upsetting veterans, add a whole new layer of complexity. It's frustrating to see someone with so much potential being overlooked while others move ahead.
There's one ad or commercial featuring Clark since she turned pro, and despite a signature shoe being part of Nike's agreement with Clark, it may not be released until 2026, according to sports business reporter Ethan Strauss. He reports Nike wants to prioritize A'ja Wilson, and it fears the optics of giving a rookie a signature shoe before an already established star who just won league MVP.
It's honestly shocking. Nike had the chance to ride the wave of Caitlin Clark's success and reshape the marketing of women's basketball, but they completely missed the mark. It's almost like they didn't realize they were sitting on a golden opportunity and just let it slip away.
Just another example about how people have fumbled the gift that
Exactly. Fans are left disappointed, especially since they've been eagerly waiting for Caitlin Clark merchandise. Nike's focus on other players, like A.A., only adds to the frustration.
A'ja Wilson currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if A'ja Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlin Clark would outsell A'ja's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the case. And I'm sorry to break that news to everybody, whether it's fair, whether it's whatever.
Absolutely. Caitlin Clark's visit to Nike's HQ has set the stage for something big. After all the missed chances and buzz, it seems Nike is finally starting to realize the star power they have on their hands. This could be the beginning of something huge, not just for Clark, but for the entire basketball community. Let's see if they finally capitalize on all that potential.
Clark was spotted at Nike headquarters, which is an important.
Caitlin Clark's visit to Nike HQ is a big deal. After missing out on merchandise in the past, it looks like Nike is finally starting to pay attention. This could be the start of something massive for her and the sport as a whole.
You walk into Nike headquarters, they got "Welcome Caitlin" with a banner of her, full size, her autograph, and the Nike logo at the bottom. This was at the Nike headquarters.
Caitlin Clark's presence at Nike HQ was electric. One staffer even compared her to a rock star, with everyone eager to meet her. But there's something even more interesting happening behind closed doors.
Shit all over the campus was lit. CC did some closed interviews and then a campus chat in the Michael Jordan building, that mass capacity in 2 minutes. CC, things are coming.
Clark wasn't just there for a casual visit, she was making power moves. Closed door interviews, top secret meetings, everything took place in the Michael Jordan building. No big deal, just right in the heart of Nike's basketball legacy.
Caitlin Clark probably had to see it in person to give it the green check mark or put the smile.
The buzz around those closed-door meetings is unreal. People are speculating about signature shoes, clothing lines, and maybe even a personal logo. If Caitlin Clark launches her own line, it's bound to fly off the shelves. Her star power is about to explode.
The shit all over the campus was lit. CC did some closed interviews and then a campus chat in the Michael Jordan building, that mass capacity in 2 minutes. CC, things are coming. Somebody said, "Nice job in the scoop. Thank you for the info, CC," and is super excited. One person said, "Tim, we love your family." So freaking cool. And I have to admit, guys, this is pretty dope that, this information did end up coming out about Caitlin Clark being at the Nike headquarters. And the only thing that I can think about entirely is they about to get ready and drop some big.
Nike's finally catching up with the hype. With Clark breaking records and dominating the court, the pressure is on them to capitalize on her massive appeal. Fans are demanding her merchandise, and Nike can no longer afford to ignore the buzz. It's time for them to deliver.
But something I did hear through the grapevine is that Caitlin Clark is actually renegotiating.
Looks like Caitlin Clark is taking charge of her own future. These meetings aren't just about building her brand, they're about securing the deal she truly deserves. After all the attention she's brought to the game, it's no surprise that she's negotiating for a better contract. Nike has had their chance, and now it's Clark's turn to play the game her way.
Now, I don't know if that's going to be made public, if, they're going to give Caitlin more money or a new deal. But one thing I can say is Nike is definitely working with Caitlin on something. Now, it's something. Now, they haven't been, privy to releasing anything right now, but they're definitely working on.
Exactly. This visit could be the start of something huge. If Nike gives Clark the recognition she deserves, it could set a new standard for how female athletes are marketed and valued. It's not just about products, it's about giving women athletes the respect, visibility, and platform they've earned. This could change the game for women's sports across the board.
Now, I don't know if that's going to be made public, if, they're going to give Caitlin more money or a new deal. But one thing I can say is Nike is definitely working with Caitlin on something. Now, it's something. Now, they haven't been, privy to releasing anything right now.
It looks like the wait may finally be over. The Caitlin Clark saga is heating up. After all the anticipation, it seems like Nike might finally be getting ready to release her signature line. The big question, what's taking so long? Fans are eager, and with Clark's star power, these shoes are bound to sell out.
Like a Kobe or a Kyrie shoe. It's actually, honestly, it feels like it's a Kyrie.
Can you believe it? Waiting until 2026 for Caitlin Clark's shoes feels like an eternity. It's like waiting for 3 Christmases in a row.
They didn't realize how big she was going to be. A lot of the deals for Caitlin Clark, shoe deals, were based on her staying in college, and in fact is that she would have made more money on a shoe deal if she...
Exactly. Waiting until 2026 feels like a missed opportunity for Nike. Caitlin Clark is on fire, and fans are clamoring for her gear. Nike has already fallen behind in capitalizing on all the hype, while Clark continues to dominate the game.
That Caitlin Clark had going into this season, we will not see that again. She came off of playing in a national championship game that had over 20 million people tuned into that game, then going straight into the draft, and then going straight into the WNBA and breaking an insane amount of records.
That would be a game changer. Fast-tracking Caitlin Clark's shoes for the playoffs would not only satisfy the fans' demands but also show Nike's commitment to her as a future superstar. It would capitalize on the hype and her momentum while the spotlight is on her. The timing couldn't be better.
Ideal scenario is that Caitlin Clark plays a couple of games this season in her shoe. Is that maybe she plays the playoff in her shoe. Like, that would be the ideal situation for Nike.
Absolutely. If Nike drops Caitlin Clark's shoes during the playoffs, it would create an electrifying moment that could ignite a frenzy among fans. It's not just about selling shoes, it's about Nike aligning itself with a new wave of women's sports dominance and showing they're ahead of the curve. The exposure would be unparalleled, especially with Clark's growing influence and the anticipation surrounding her. This could be a landmark moment in how brands approach women's athletics, and Nike would solidify its position as the leader in the market.
Like what, say, LeBron used to do when he would wear like different shoes in the playoffs in the regular season. But if suddenly you've got the playoffs and Caitlin Clark is rocking the Caitlin Clark ones and there's all the hype and you release them, but you release like them in limited quantities in July. You release one colorway, whatever colorway Caitlin Clark wore, and then you release another colorway and a couple more colorways, and obviously they're not all going to sell out, but you release it in a way a little bit like the Sabrina ones, where the first ones were all going to sell out, the first 2 or 3 all sold out, and then obviously things are going to calm down a little bit with the shoe. It's big for Nike, and I think this is more important for Nike than it is for Caitlin Clark herself, because at the end of the day, like, Caitlin Clark is still going to be Caitlin Clark. She's still going to be a worldwide